How's it going, guys? My name is Voss, and if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. It's been a pretty good day. It kind of rained this morning, but we made a couple more videos. I got to go to the supercharging station, give you a little bit of the reliability on how I felt this vehicle's been, the Model 3. Then we did a little 5 things I love, which, like I said, absolutely love this car. It has been fantastic. It's a great compliment. I love my M3. It's great for shifting gears, but it's also fun to drive this every now and then just to get a little more of that EV experience. Absolute fantastic car. But today I want to also address 5 things I guess I hate, which I'm going to use the word hate loosely because I don't really hate anything, but 5 of the challenges we've had in the ownership since we've had this vehicle in the last 10,000 miles. So I want to talk about 5 of the things that have been a struggle for me in the Tesla Model 3 performance. So let's get to it. So let's start with, I guess, the first thing that I really don't like, and this might be very specific to this or our Tesla, but this could be a bigger problem. I haven't seen a whole lot about it, but I live in Ohio, and the winters here are pretty freaking bad. And one of the problems we were having is when it gets below 20 degrees and you park it in the garage, if you don't charge it every night, which we don't charge it every night, it'll actually discharge upwards of 10% in one day just sitting. And I know that has to do with the batteries and the temperature, but usually the cold, with how cold it is, that is a huge problem that I've noticed, which I didn't think it would be that bad. And I know Tesla claimed it wouldn't have been that bad, but I have noticed discharging upwards of, almost 10%, sometimes more if you leave it outside. So that was a huge thing. To kind of add to that, I know another problem that I noticed, which is, I guess, jumping into the second problem, and we'll mesh 2 things in here, is with it being so cold and, me being in the Midwest, these windows just kind of, sometimes I'll park, we'd park it, go out, come back a few hours later, the passenger window would just be completely shut down, like it would fall down. And I know that could be a threat, that could be a security problem. It's already, there's already security problems with Teslas, with how easy it is to sometimes break into them, so that doesn't help. It's happened twice, so I'm gonna wait till this winter again, but I did notice that, and that's a huge negative. They really need to address that if that keeps happening. But I mean, overall, those are little nitpicky things. And to add with that, something else I'm going to nitpick is when it's super cold with the doors. Opening the door handle is kind of like the push and pull, kind of like the Lamborghini Huracan is one of the big ones I know that does that. When it's super cold out and there's ice, if you leave it out, ice will form if it rains and there's freezing rains, and then ice will form around those door handles, and it'll be next to impossible. It'll be just very, very difficult to open your door. And I wish they had a way where you could do it through the app or the key card. I have the key card, so I know that's one of the things that I was not a fan of. Another thing I did notice is, maybe it's just because we're in the Midwest, but when it got so cold, the screen actually shut off. I have a really low-res image. I'll throw that up somewhere here. But the screen actually shut off, and it was all black. Everything was unresponsive. You couldn't see anything, and just a Tesla badge, like a Tesla logo, was on the screen. So that's a huge negative, especially because one of the things I like now that I've gotten used to it is me being able to focus on the road without any clutter here. And if this, without a dash or a cluster or instrument, none of that stuff, right? It's all here. So if this goes out, there's no way for you to know how fast you're going, any of the features, something could be going wrong. So that's a huge negative if that happens again. I've only had that happen twice. But so we'll see how that does this winter, and I'll keep you guys updated. But that's a huge problem if that goes out. And like I was saying, with one of the biggest downsides of this vehicle, which is one of its greatest strengths, is everything is controlled by the center screen, which is awesome because then you can just focus on the road. But if this screen goes out, like it's done twice this past winter, you're kind of screwed because you can't see the speed, you can't control the windshield wipers. There's so many features here that you just can't control, which is just a huge downside if that were to happen. So I'll keep you guys updated as this winter comes along. But like I said, one of my favorite things was I could focus on the road because there's not a cluster and everything in here, blocking my view. So if that doesn't work, that it's kind of dangerous. So hopefully they address that. That's not a huge problem. We'll see how that does this coming winter. All right, so let's jump to the fourth, or the next thing that I don't really like. And like I said, I'm nitpicking because overall the experience in this vehicle is really positive. But the next, I guess, thing that I'm not a fan of is there's a lot of road noise in this car. It's very, very, it's not, and I was curious, actually, when open this door, you can see it's not double insulated. Like my M3 has got 2 strips of weather lining. It does help with the sound, and this car is not. So I know you can fix it, but I'm very surprised for how expensive this vehicle is. It is very noisy on the roads. I was hoping it'd be a little bit quieter, but it's not. And I'll show you here. I don't know how well I have a lapel mic on, so I probably won't pick it up, but there's a lot of road noise, and since there's no engine noise, you do hear a lot more, so that could be a lot of it, but you do hear everything on the road. And I know we are on very performance-oriented tires, and we're 20-inch wheels with Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. You're gonna feel a little bit more on the road, but I just feel like there is a lot of road noise in this vehicle, so you can take a listen for yourself, and I'll put it in autopilot. It feels like I can definitely hear a lot more of what's going on the road. And I think a lot of that is in part to the door not having the same ceiling that more of the German competitors have. So I will probably try to make a video on how to fix that. I have seen some stuff where you can actually get kits to insulate that a little better. So I'll keep you updated on that as well. But that is one of the bigger faults I've noticed in here as well. We're gonna finish off the rest of this video in autopilot. It's actually really fun to just watch it and see what it does. It does a pretty good job overall. Sometimes I do wish the autopilot would adjust the speed a little bit for turns. Like if a turn was coming up, it'd slow down just a hair, but it decides to take those turns pretty harshly and pretty aggressively. It's kind of enjoyable if you're, it has the tires and the setup to do it, so it's not too bad. But the next thing, I guess the last thing I'm going to be picky about that I don't like in here is, for the money, when this came out, before the tax break, before everything, I think out the door before taxes, you were looking at like $78,000. And when you spend upwards of 80 grand, the inside feels very, very minimalistic, which is okay. I like minimal, but like the leather feels good, but it doesn't feel super premium. It doesn't have a lot of the premium features you'd find in the Mercedes. Right now, Mercedes killing it with the interior look. And I mean, I've driven, even lesser vehicles, price point wise, like the Kia Stinger or the Kia Telluride. I just got to review those, and those felt more luxurious and prestigious for the price. So it would have been nice to see some more features and some more stuff that included in the interior, especially for the money, because I understand why they did it. They were trying to keep the cost down, get production going, because they were going through some production hell at the moment. But it would have been nice to see some different packages included. One of the things I did was I worked with Evanex, awesome group of guys. They sent me these interior carbon fiber kits, and it completely transformed the look of this interior. It looks so much better than it did before. Huge shout out to Evanex. Absolutely love the way. And I waited a little while to give a little follow-up video with their products. Their products have held up great. Everything feels still really good. Nothing's peeling up, so very, very impressed with how they are and with the transformation of the inside of this vehicle. So check them out. I'll put their discount code and their website and information in the description below. Alrighty guys, that's gonna wrap up this video, and overall I have been just very impressed. Like I said, I picked out a few things. Some of them could be bigger concerns. I'll keep you updated as this winter season comes along. But overall, very, very impressed with this vehicle. I mean, it's driving itself. Like, there's so many features in here that are so awesome and so fun to, there's so many things going on here. It does take a while to figure out where everything's at, but once you get the hang of it, it's super easy to drive. It's no longer intimidating. And overall, I have been very, very impressed and happy with this vehicle. And like I said, you can check out my reliability video I made on it, but we just hit right around 10K miles, and it's pretty much been bulletproof. So other than the things I'm nitpicking, like I said, the window situation, I hope that's not a problem. The doors, I don't know what to really do to make that better. Hopefully it may just be a Midwest thing, and hopefully the screen doesn't shut off in the winter as well. A lot of the problems I had seem to be coming from the winter months, really more than any other time. So guys, I've really enjoyed this vehicle. I can't wait to bring tons more content with this, the M3. There's a string of vehicles that I'm going to be featuring on the channel coming up. So stay tuned. If you guys enjoy this, consider subscribing. Share this video. It helps me out a ton. Hit that like button. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.